So this is what it takes to start putting one of these together. That's my control board. Got most of that together. Long tails on everything. Splice it in when I put it in the box. 350 watt power supply, 48 volt. We got your launch pad board. That's already configured. 5 volt power supply for the fans and the board. 180 watt servo. Obviously the box. We're going to have dual fans in that. One going up, one going out. We'll mount that underneath the lathe, underneath the toolbox. We'll get that all set up. We got a line filter. If you don't have a decent soldering iron, get one. You're going to need a few other things too, and we can go through that in the next one. All right, how's everybody doing? Let's see what we got going on here. Various iterations of a board to hold this Texas Instruments launch pad. I have basically molded, you know, as you do, parts in 360 Fusion together to create iterations of this holder. And we have come to this final piece here, which has a great gripping strength, but also serves two purposes. The first one being that the launch pad fits, but the second one being that the actual 350 watt power supply also mounts on it. Much sturdier than my last box that I put together, so looking good. All right, we got the board together, starting to get things together. I got to get power supplies on there, and I got to get the power cleaner mounted to the sidewall. The board will go on that side, and then we'll get everything wired up. Once we get everything wired up and back in the box, we'll bring you back in. Thanks. All right, bringing you back in for a minute just to show you the board layout. I think we got all the power connectors on we need, and now to wire. All right, I was wrong. Bring you back one more time before we really start wiring. Seat it in the box, make sure everything fits. I think the only problem I see is that I can't get to that nut to tighten it down. But I think that if I slide all this stuff out of the way and slide that over or pop it in after, I'll be able to get that tight. All right, time to move on. So here's your local side quest. Don't ever drop your box of ferrules. Just saying. Yeah. All right. Hello, everyone. Bringing you back. Let's see what we got here. We got the grounding and both the 5 volt DC and the 48 volt DC hooked up. We got the power coming from, sorry about the quick movement there. Power coming in here. We'll go over to that. That will come from here and feed here. And that's my next stage. So get the neutrals and the load set up, and I'll bring you back in a little while. All right, we're coming together. Got to get a few things mounted. Oh God, my big old hands. So we'll get this mounted to the side over here. That'll come down. But we've got most of the 110 done. Now I just got to get the 5 volt into the distribution through that the red thing. If you haven't seen them before, that's a Dinkel fuse holder with a light indicator on the top. I got one down here for the servo, and I got one up here for the board, just coming off of that. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to use the 5 volt to run a relay through the e-stop system and the start switch on the lathe. I'm working on that now. I think what I'm going to do is order, so the only place I can find the relay or the switch modules for the e-stop and that are on Grizzly, the Mingle 125 LH 125, something like that. And I need that to be able to do on and off, basically, for this independently. I want it all to run off the one e-stop, but I want it to break the 48 volt power, not the 5 volt power that's running the board. Everybody else has killed the board. I worry about killing the board doing that. I don't worry about killing the 48 volt if I have something, you know, operating that. So a little bit more wiring and we'll come back. All right, I think we got everything together. I gotta tighten those down, but I got 120 coming into the filter. That goes back out, comes over, we feed the 48 volt, we feed the 5 volt. The 5 volt was tested. 5 volts coming out to that stub, which we put together. I haven't plugged that in yet because I don't have the controller on it to see it, and I will do that in a little while. Grounding's all looking good, comes down there, all common point. Everything fired up. Now I just got to get the servo, the encoder, the display wired into there and plugged in. A lot done today. All right, we have proof of life. Everything's good to go. I've got the right direction. Everything's polarity right. Only problem I have at this point is the power connection for this, which is down there, is broken. So I had to order a new one. If anybody ever needs a part number, I'll put it in the comments. All right, one more proof of life here on my power. Hack job on the power until I get my new pin in. Everything wired up. Try to back this up a little bit. You see this. And we have motion. Let's see if I can get this in the shot a little. Sorry, I don't exactly have cameras built for this most days, but we have success. And now I just got to get it on the machine. Yep, I'm a klutz. I need to put together how many times can Jonas drop things cam. It's embarrassing. All right, y'all have a great day.